Hello everyone, welcome back to more AEW on TEW 2020. We are here, our go-home show, the day before the all-out pay-per-view. We are in the Hammerstein Ballroom. And we start off with a women's match as Hikaru Shida defeats Lady Christina of the Queen's Court. Afterwards, she gets up right after the match and she's instantly wary. She's looking around, she's like, alright, where are Britt Baker going to show up? When's Cynthia Regal going to show up? But she's not expecting when a quote-unquote fan, it is a worked fan, of course, that's who Georgia Green is. She's just a local talent. She jumps the barrier and tackles Shida. Security quickly barges in, takes her away. But that's enough of a distraction for Britt Baker and Cynthia Regal to get the jump on Shida. They slip into the ring. They put Shida into a lockjaw and an ankle lock. Which I think is something possible. You're not going to get a full-blown ankle lock, but you can at least get some of one in with the pose that the lockjaw, or with the positioning that the lockjaw grants. They keep the hold on for a while until backstage come off, and with the backstage staff comes Paul Heyman with Brock Lesnar. He takes in the Hammerstein Ballroom reception. He hypes up All Out in the big show that is planned tonight, capped off with the contract signing in the main event. It's cut off by Jon Moxley's music hitting. And the new sheriff in town comes down. He says that the fact that Heyman's not only here right now hyping that up, but the fact that he has been hyping up a public contract signing, yeah, something's going on. Yeah, sure, on Wednesday, you had the perfectly fair contract signing between Mayu and Shotzi, but Moxley smells something fishy. So, hey, you know what? I'm the sheriff. I will help keep law and order around here. And Heyman's like, you know what? Alright. That is fair. Now, complete transparency. Nothing wrong. Come on in. Come on into the contract signing. So, Heyman would be overseeing it. Brock is his personal bodyguard. Jon Moxley also there as well. After this, we see Ashley Flair by herself in her courtroom. In her royal throne room, talking to the camera, and she says, "It is a complete disgrace to pro wrestling that the Queen herself, one of the best faces of the revolution of women's wrestling, doesn't even have a solo match on pay-per-view tomorrow. Luckily, everyone has seen the error of their ways, and I'm going to be in the Casino Battle Royale. Of course, right now we only have one other person announced on TV. Presumably, they'd be doing some Twitter announcements before then." And she says, "Layla Hirsch, you are nothing compared to me, and you will continue to be nothing when I knock you out over that top rope, like the nothing that you are. Woo." Fergal Denver defeats Colt Cabana. After this, the Future come out with Frederick Hurst following the match. And Frederick Hurst, he's talking, he says, Fergie, look. Just because you didn't like your visit with the Future, looking at where they came up from, looking at who they really are as people, doesn't mean you gotta abandon them. I mean, we got a program going on, Fergal. We've talked to management about this. Look, I already know that you messed up our tapes, which, to be fair, we probably shouldn't have been using tapes. That's on us. But you screwed them up for what we recorded for a day in the Future's life. If you think we're just gonna take this lightly, and Devitt just shuts him off and just straight up tells him, shut the fuck up. And Hurst, Future, they're offended by this. Devitt offers to have the brothers join him in the ring, but they refuse. And Hurst says that someone so rude doesn't deserve to have the Future listen to him. After this, Adam Cole is seen in his compound, and he is, well, honestly saying mildly distressed is probably putting it lightly, but he's upset about the events that happened on Dynamite. He gives orders for his cultists to be stationed all around Madison Square Garden, and for Utami especially to be ready in case Hiromu wants to get anyone else ready to help him out, mainly probably alluding to Maki Ito, which is why Utami would be looking out, because Hiromu and Maki seems like it would be a fun combination. She nods, and then Adam Cole gives a pretty long sermon about how important tomorrow is for his own legacy and that the cult cannot fail him. They need to do more spooky stuff. Not too spooky. Kevin Steen defeats Jonathan Gresham. Just a quick match. After this, and that's kind of the thing. The matches here are pretty meh. It's not a very interesting show for matches. It's kind of just people who aren't really doing much anyways, so whatever. Anyways, Antonio Lotens is seen backstage in an interview with Renee Paquette. He apologizes that he will not be able to participate in the US title match tomorrow because of a shoulder injury. As he's talking, he is approached by Lexi Paradise and Satnam Singh, who I forgot to put on screen, and she propositions to Antonio Latens, about joining as another personal bodyguard, but Antonio refuses, saying that he wants to work alone as he's tired of other people talking for him when he just wants to fight for himself, as he struggled when going off script. Deonna and Tenille then enter, and they jawjack with Lexi, who is looking forward to her match against Deonna next day. Tomorrow night. Whatever. Again, another pretty, just a match to get people a match. Sons of Andre defeat the Gun Club. And then you have commercial, probably a little bit of stall time, and then get Jungle Boy actually defeating Nakamura. After this, we go over our match card. Hopefully, I will actually have this made up, but I do not know. Let me actually pull up the card that I have. Just give me a second. Okay, so the full match card is as follows. Of course, this is both the pre-show and the main show. So, we have our world title, Adam Page versus Miro, with special guest Jon Moxley. We have our women's title match, with Mayu versus Shotzi. Our tag team title match. It's a ladder match between the Briscoe brothers, the Young Bucks, and Lance Archer representing the Vision. Then we have our TNT title match, Bronson Steiner versus Ricochet. US title match, Cody Rhodes versus Darby Allin versus Pac. Our TBS title match is Hikaru Shida versus Britt Baker. Then we have Hiromu Takahashi taking on Adam Cole in a last man standing match. AJ Styles and Jungle Boy will face off in a hair v hair match. CM Punk and Samoa Joe will be in an I Quit match. Scott Steiner and Nat Murphy will take on Will Hobbs and Willie Mack. Priscilla Kelly will take on Riho. Ace Austin and Sammy Guevara will take on Garza Jr. and Kip Sabian. If Garza wins, Sammy can be fired by Garza. If Sammy wins, then he is free from the Rose Garden. Lexi Paradise takes on Deonna Purrazzo. Then we have the men's and women's casino battle royales, and then the Bullet Club against the VIPs Club, and the FTW title match between Scorpio Sky and Ricky Starks. Hopefully, I will actually have made those graphics. I don't know if I can find a template for All Out. After this, Paul Heyman, Brock Lesnar, and Jon Moxley are waiting in the ring, which is set up for the contract signing. Miro enters first, accompanied to the ring by CJ Perry, and Adam Page comes in after Miro and CJ have sat down. Heyman lays out the rules about the match and the contract signing, and all they need to do is sign on the dotted line, and the match is official. The biggest match in AEW history. And of course, wrestling tradition, the two talk back and forth for a little bit. Miro says, alright, I know Hangman's like, hey, so remember what we agreed to, CJ Perry not coming to ringside, fair fight, 1v1, no outside interference or anything. Miro agrees to that. They shake hands, show looks ready to go off the air, and Paul Heyman keeps talking on the mic, and says that the match has now been set in stone. Miro and Adam Page will fight for the world title tomorrow night, with Jon Moxley as the special guest referee at Madison Square Garden in a triple threat match. MJF's music then hits. And before anything can happen, before any reactions really happen, Brock Lesnar turns on Jon Moxley, picks him up, F5. The VIPs Club, Griffin Slade, Chris Bay, Ethan Page, Josh Alexander, they all get in the ring. They beat down both the champ and the challenger. Honestly, Brock probably F5s Moxley through the table. And MJF, his music's playing for a good few seconds before he finally walks out. He has a mic in his hand. He says, I already know what you're all thinking. MJF sold out to the devil. Next, he's gonna drink a beer with Paul Heyman. No. Listen, I am not some corporate shill. I'm not someone who's selling my soul out for a world title match. Oh, no, nothing like that. I am MJF. I'm the best damn pro wrestler in this business. I lead. I do not follow. I do not suck up to people like Paul Heyman. See, a month ago, my contract was starting to run out. I've been here since the beginning of AEW. And honestly, for the impact that I made, I was being paid scraps. So, I tested my waters. I was getting calls from all over. I was getting calls from New Japan. I was getting calls from CMLL. I was getting calls from AAA. And I even had Paul on the phone. And I'm not talking about Heyman. Tony Khan and Paul Heyman had to bend over backwards to keep me. They were in a bidding war with some of the best talent that the world has to offer. Hell, I could have gone to Fox to be an analyst. I could have done anything. I could have gone Hollywood. But those two, they know talent when they see it. And aside from my due contract demands, aside from the money that I am deserved, aside from the money that I am now getting, I wanted one little extra clause in my contract. Time and time again, you've had people ask for, you've heard stories about creative control or not wanting people to hire someone else. This is different. No. I wanted something simple, something that they could easily look to. I wanted to be added to this title match at All Out. And by God, am I here for that fight. Now, of course, I could have announced this in any way that I wanted to. I could have gone on Twitter and just said, hey, I've re-signed my contract and being entered into the triple threat. I could have asked Tony Khan himself to come out here and say that, but I wanted to get all your hopes up. I wanted you to think the boogeyman was gone. But no. I'm here, and by God am I here to stay. And I'm going to be back at the top, back as world champion material. Because that is what I am. And I thought, honestly, it would be more fun for if all of you fat losers got all of your hopes up, and now you have people going out on Twitter, going out on Reddit, going out wherever you want, saying, oh, this decision has made me sell my tickets to All Out. If you're so pissed off that I'm here, we don't want you in AEW. And you want to know why? It's because I'm better than you. And you all know it. This was the plan since he was taken off TV, since for the past month or so. Always the plan for this title match was for it to be a triple threat. So, here it is. Good show, very much carried by segments, very much carried by Paul Heyman, honestly. But, that's our go-home show for All Out. And next time will be that show. And I'm looking forward to it.